Hi, my name is Alyssa and I'm Brightly's low-waste lifestyle expert. If you're into sustainability, subscribe down below, become a change maker, but other than that, let's get started. Today, I am talking about all of my personal best tips for shopping secondhand, thrifting, antiquing, all of that good stuff. And if you're interested in any bonus tips besides what's gonna be in this video, check the description because we wrote a whole article with other great secondhand shoppers and influencers who wanna share their tips with you. But let's get started so that you guys can start finding some great finds at secondhand shops. The first one, it might seem a little obvious, but let's just get it out of the way, and that is to become a regular at your local secondhand stores. When you're there all the time, you're gonna spot the new arrivals, you're gonna see when they hit the floor first, you're gonna be always finding new things, you're gonna get a better sense of what shows up at each store and what each store kind of displays and takes. But to go along with that, tip number 2 is it's very simple to just find a store manager, or even sometimes just people who stock the store will be able to tell you the days that they get the most new arrivals or the days that they tend to restock the floor. Now, some bigger places like maybe your Goodwills, your Salvation Armies, they might be restocking the floor almost every day, but some of your smaller, more local charity shops or thrift stores or antique stores may have a certain day that vendors or themselves go and restock the store. I love to do this at antique stores with their vendors. I like to find them on social media and just ask them when are they typically restocking their booths if it's one I tend to visit every time I'm at that store. But yeah, asking just the simple questions goes a long way and you will have a for sure answer rather than just showing up and guessing. And the second thing to do, and this is more of just an ethical way to thrift, and it's to ask what is in stock, like what are they getting a lot of. For example, if it's the winter time and you're looking to thrift a coat and you do have the money to go afford a new coat, but you don't really want to, you want to buy secondhand either for your wallet or for the planet, or there's so many different reasons why you might be shopping secondhand. What I would just recommend is asking, are you guys getting a lot of coats right now or a lot of jackets? And if they say, no, we wish we had more, or kind of not really, then maybe wait until you find a shop that has an overwhelming amount of per se coats rather than one that's struggling to get them in and actually get them out to people who need them. And that's just a way to be a little more mindful of what you're buying and reevaluating if you have the means to get it elsewhere. Another thing is to not impulse buy at thrift shops. So one of the dangers of shopping secondhand is that it's very easy to overconsume because you are buying things for such a great price and you feel really lucky when you have an item. It feels like a one-of-a-kind find because it's not like there's going to be anything else just like it even in that same store. So to avoid bringing home things you don't actually love or want or need, here are a few questions to ask yourself. One is, would you have liked it 3 years ago? This is more in terms of clothes, sometimes home decor, even though I feel like that style doesn't change as fast or as often as clothing. And it's just to make sure you actually like this item and it's going to be timeless. There's not really a point of thrifting something if you think you're just going to donate it back and who knows if it will even make it to the shelves again, you know, just in a few months or a year. And it's hard to look in the future and be like, hey, 3 years from now, will I still like this? It's kind of difficult to understand in your head of if you actually will, and you might just like the trend right now and you're thinking, well, yeah, I like it, so maybe I'll like it in 3 years. But asking yourself if you would have worn it 3 years ago is a good way to determine if it's gonna stay in your closet for a long time and it's gonna be a timeless piece for you. Number 2 is asking yourself, will I actually fix this? Now, I have this dilemma a lot in thrift stores. Sometimes you might get something with a stain or a rip, a hole, or a vase or something that's broken, and I always pick it up and think, well, I'll fix this, I'll sew it back together, I'll glue it back together. And that's not always true. Sometimes I'll just end up taking it home and it'll be sitting in a pile of stuff that I've been meaning to fix or to sew up for a very long time. So if the answer is yes, I will fix that, then ask yourself when am I going to fix it? So if you think you could fix it or you have the stuff to fix it or it would be very easy, think of when. If you can't say, oh, I have time Tuesday after work or Wednesday after school to fix this, then you're probably not gonna do it. So set yourself a time, actually fix that item, purchase it if you think you'll use it right away. The third question is asking yourself, where are you gonna put it? So especially true with things like home decor, where are you gonna put it when you get home? Do you have a spot for it that needs to be filled? Do you need this item? Do you have a shelf it's gonna go on? Do you have an idea of where you would put this or what you would put in it or on it? If the answer is no, maybe rethink if you actually need that, or if it's just gonna clutter your home, or if you're even gonna actually display it. And this is especially true with things like holiday decor. So some thrift stores have holiday decor all year round that you can pick and choose from. I know one of my local ones does. So if I'm in the shop and I see a piece of Halloween decor that I think is gonna be great in my home, I have to think to myself, do I have a place to store it? Because if I don't have rooms in my bins, if I don't have a place in the basement or in my storage to put that item, I'm not gonna get it, because that means I either don't need it because I have enough decor, or I need to clean out some of my decor and donate it or sell it before I buy this one. And the last question to ask yourself to make sure you don't impulse buy, this is more if you have a lot of items, you're really shopping around, you develop a lot of things. I do this when I'm shopping for clothes specifically. So let's say it's a really good day at the secondhand shop. You tried on all these clothes, you have this big pile of clothes you really like. What you need to do without taking a good look at it is just look away. Turn around, look away from your pile of clothes or decor or whatever you have from the secondhand shop. Look away and see if you can account for everything that you wanted or everything that was in that pile. Turn back around, see what's actually there. If there was anything in that pile that you physically could not remember after turning around and not taking a good look at it first, you probably don't want that item as much as you think you do. Not gonna lie, I didn't really think this question was gonna work for me, but I did do it very recently whenever I was clothes shopping and I was at a resale shop and I ended up liking a lot of things, and I did that, and I think I took like 4 items out of my pile, and I only ended up getting 2 things because I had tried the clothes on, but I literally couldn't even remember which ones I actually liked except for 2, and I ended up leaving with 2 items instead of 6. And it's because I probably didn't even really love those other 4. They probably just fit me and I thought they looked okay, so I put them in my yes pile, and then turn around, I can't even remember what they are, these clothes I just tried on a few minutes ago. Now, aside from the impulse buying, another tip I have for you is to have some kind of secondhand or thrifty wish list. And this isn't things you necessarily need or are going out shopping for. For example, if I need a wicker basket or some kind of tote or tub for storage, I know that probably any thrift store I go to near me will have something like that. And so there's some things where I'm able to just be like, I need that, I'm gonna go pick it up. But there's also things that I have a list for that in the long term I want to find or discover. So for example, a few of my long-term things is I want a V-neck white t-shirt because I currently only have mock necks, higher necks, regular tees. I want a V-neck white t-shirt, so that's on my thrift list. I also am looking for more planters. So any planters that I really love, I'm looking for bigger ones to repot my old plants in. So those are a few things of mine. So it's things you don't need right away, but things you are going to want eventually, or that you would like to have in your closet or your home, and just write them down in a little list so you have an idea of kind of what you're looking for. And my last and main tip for you is to find a local secondhand shop if you're feeling overwhelmed at your standard thrift shop. So if I need something quick, I need a wicker basket, I need some kind of glass or something that I know will most likely be at the secondhand shop, maybe I'll run up to a Salvation Army or something like that that's very close to me. Or I know there's a lot of Goodwills, so if you have a Goodwill near you and you know that you're looking for something very specific, you want to get in and out almost as if it was a regular store, you might be shopping places like that. And if you are one of those people that actually love to shop secondhand for the planet, but you're not the biggest overall thrifters, that's me right here. So if you're like me and you get overwhelmed in your standard thrift shop, I always recommend to go to a local secondhand shop. So that's charity shops, that's resale shops, that's antique shops. But keep in mind, typically they are slightly more expensive and there are reasons to that. But overall, they're more curated. So when you go in there, it's separated by sizing, styles, colors. It's all separated and organized for you. And it makes it really easy to shop. It actually just feels like you're in a normal store. And for me, a lot of times when I go to a big thrift store like a Salvation Army or a Goodwill or something of the sort, I have trouble finding my size or a good fit fit for me, and that's because it's not super curated. You know, it's kind of a catch-all. You have to look through a lot. It's all about the search. It's all about patience, but I don't always have that time. I'm not a big clothing guru anyways, so I just like to get in and out if I need something. So that's why I love resale shops. I will pay the few extra dollars to get something curated for me, something that I really love, something that really fits me well, and something that's most of all easy to find. Also, overall, it's supporting local, and I really love that too. Another tip is to thrift your maybe trendier or less basic items, and then maybe purchase sustainably things that you want to have for a long time. So I used to think that I wanted to shop all of my basics because they are pretty easy to find. But what I quickly realized is that whenever I was shopping my basics at the thrift store, is I was constantly rebuying them. The ones I was particularly buying were really cheap, they were not well made, and they would fall apart very easily. For example, joggers. I could not, for the life of me, it felt like, find a good pair of fleece joggers or cozy joggers at the thrift store. They always fell apart on me, they pilled a lot, and it just wasn't working out. I was rebuying them so often, and I really only wanted like 1 to 2 pairs. So instead, I opted for a brand called Booty Wear, and I bought their sweatpants. They're amazingly luxurious. I love them. I am happy with the money I spent on them. They are a bit of a more affordable, sustainable brand in terms of comparing them to other sustainable brands. And I was very happy with that purchase, and it's because I know they're gonna last me a very long time. They don't pill, they don't shred, they don't get holes in them easy. So what I found, if I want a statement top or a statement bottom, something printed, something fun, something that I love in the moment, I will probably thrift that instead of buying that sustainably. I'd rather buy sustainably my basics that I want to keep in my closet for a very long time and I know will never go out of style. Same thing with home decor. I might buy sustainable pots and pans or a baking mat or something that I'm gonna use every single day. But maybe if I want a fun little kitchen gadget, I'll try to get that secondhand from Facebook Marketplace or the thrift store. But it's just reevaluating if everything at the secondhand store is not equal. There are some things that maybe you don't want to buy secondhand because you will have to repurchase them often, or maybe you're just there for environmental reasons and you want to shop secondhand as much as possible. That's totally fine. This is just a personal tip from me to you of I would recommend thrifting your more trendy things or your not everyday type things. For another example, I'd want to thrift a platter, like a serving platter, because I'm not gonna use that every day, but maybe I'll invest in a sustainable, heavy duty set of plates that I will use day in, day out. That is all for this video. I hope you were able to pick up a few new tips that you've never heard of. If you have any tips for others, please leave them in the comments down below. Let's have a conversation. Let's support each other in our secondhand journey. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up down below, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.